We start by casting on stitches for the I-cord itself. I prefer to use the slingshot version of the long tail cast on because it doesn't have a rigid slip knot at the very beginning of the I-cord. So arrange the yarn the same way as you do when you use the long tail cast on method, and then place the needle on the strand stretch between your thumb and index finger. Then go into the loop that is formed at your thumb, pick the strand that comes from your index finger and pull that strand through and tighten the yarn, forming the first 2 stitches. And then make another stitch or make more stitches if you want to make your I-cord wider. I find that the I-cord made on 3 stitches provides the neatest and sleekest cast on edge, but you can make your I-cord on 4 or 5 stitches. It's totally up to you. Now turn your work. And this is actually the only time that we're going to turn the work as we are making this cast on. So as we do with every I-cord, we're going to face the right side of the work at all times. Then take the needle, the empty needle in your right hand, and now we start by making a reverse yarn over. And that would be the first step of making this type of cast on. So it is not really easy to make a yarn over when there is no work here yet, right? So it's easier to do when you place the needle, the right needle, on the yarn and then move the yarn over the needle and to the back of the work, like this. So this is your reverse yarn over. The second step would be to knit the stitches of the I-cord. So we knit the stitches as usual, but just now when we do the first row, when we just cast on the first stitch, it is a good idea to stop after we make 1 stitch of the I-cord and pull the yarn. Because we started from a point when there is no work yet and the needles are not balanced, the first yarn over tends to be very loose. And to prevent it, to tighten it up, to keep it from being loose, it is good to stop after you knit the first stitch and pull the yarn to tighten this stitch, this yarn over. But it is the only time that we do it, so we don't need to do it for future stitches. And then finish knitting the rest of the stitches of the I-cord. Now we're going to slip the stitches of the I-cord from the right needle to the left needle, and that's going to be the third step of the process. So we simply slip them stitch by stitch, purlwise, without twisting the stitches, from the right needle to the left needle. And now we have only 1 stitch left on the right needle, and that's the reverse yarn over, the stitch that we created in the previous row. And that's pretty much it. So we repeat the same thing. We make a reverse yarn over. Now it's easier because we already have the needles balanced. And then knit the stitches of the I-cord. And now we don't have to tighten the stitch because it's already in a pretty good size. Knit all stitches of the I-cord and slip them back. Just the stitches of the I-cord. The other stitches, the ones that we've just cast on, they stay on the right needle. And we do it again and again until we cast on the number of stitches that we need for the project less 1 stitch. And that does not include the stitches of the I-cord. For example, if I were to cast on 8 stitches for my project, I would stop about right here, because if I look at my right needle after I slip the stitches of the I-cord to the left needle, I will see that I have 7 stitches. So I need 8, so I stop when I have 7 stitches over here, and I have the stitches of the I-cord on the left needle. That's very important. So we stop after we finished the third step, when we slip the stitches to the left needle. And now we do the last step, and that step would be to get rid of the stitches of the I-cord, and we do it in a very simple way. We simply knit all stitches of the I-cord together. Could be a bit awkward given that, especially if the yarn is thick like mine, but it's totally doable. And now we are ready to start the first row or round of the project. So if you're working in the round, you would simply rearrange stitches for working in the round and then start working on the first round of your project as instructed in your pattern. If you're working back and forth, then you turn your work and then you work again the first row of your project, but as a wrong side row. So you look for the pattern that you're following and find the instructions for a wrong side row. For example, if you want to work in stockinette stitch, then you would purl all stitches in this row, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do. Here's what we've got. We've got a lovely I-cord right here, and we've got a set of stitches that are twisted because we cast them on through the reverse yarn overs, not the regular yarn overs. So those stitches are twisted, which is great because that makes them tighter and neater, and they are a little bit biggish, but we will easily fix it when we stretch the I-cord. Just as we do with any I-cord, we're gonna pull it, in this case sideways because it's at the bottom of the edge, right? So we pull the I-cord, redistributing the yarn that's been quite loose over here. So we pull it and the yarn hides inside those stitches, making them big and nice and getting rid of all the loose stitches in the first row. And if you work a few rows, you will see that this edge does not have any loose stitches over here. The I-cord is nice and neat. And as you see as well, it is a perfect match for the I-cord bind off. They look exactly the same. Actually, I'm working on a book about matching cast-ons and bind-offs. So if you want to know when the book is available, as well as receive my newest knitting tutorials, sign up to my weekly newsletter at tenroseday.com/sign-up. Happy knitting, my friend. I'll talk to you in the next tutorial.